For millions of McDonald's customers, the Monopoly promotion felt like a tiny doorway to a different life. Buy a meal, peel a sticker, and perhaps the next piece would pay for a house. But behind the smiling commercials and cardboard game boards, someone had already decided where many of the biggest prizes would go. The game was not merely difficult. At the top, it had been rigged. McDonald's launched its Monopoly promotion in the United States in the late 1980s. The idea was brilliantly simple. Customers collected game pieces attached to food packaging. Some pieces won small prizes instantly. Others matched properties on a Monopoly board. Complete a rare set, and the reward could be a car, a vacation, or $1 million. Most pieces were common. The entire promotion depended on a handful of rare winning pieces being printed, protected, and randomly distributed. McDonald's hired an outside marketing company, Simon Marketing, to manage that sensitive process. Inside Simon's security operation was Jerome Jacobson. His job placed him close to the most valuable pieces in the game. He was supposed to protect the promotion. Instead, federal prosecutors said he stole winning pieces and secretly controlled who received them. Jacobson could not simply walk into a restaurant and claim every prize himself. That would have attracted attention immediately. He needed distance between the theft and the winners. So the operation developed layers. Winning pieces moved from Jacobson to recruiters. Recruiters then found people willing to pose as ordinary customers who had simply become fantastically lucky. After a prize was paid, the money was divided. The claimant kept a portion. Recruiters received a cut, and money flowed back toward the man who controlled the pieces. The fake winners had to tell convincing stories. Where had they bought the meal? What had they ordered? How had they reacted when they peeled the sticker? A $1 million prize created publicity, photographs, and questions. Every winner needed a believable moment of discovery, even though that moment had never happened. The scheme grew through friends, relatives, business contacts, and people connected by recruiters. That network made the fraud harder to see. The winners did not all share one address or one surname. They appeared in different states and claimed different prizes. From the outside, they looked like scattered points of extraordinary luck. But beneath those stories was the same hidden system. According to the United States Department of Justice, the conspiracy involved high-value pieces from Monopoly and other McDonald's promotions, including million-dollar prizes. By the time authorities moved in, prosecutors alleged that more than $24 million in prizes had been diverted. And here is the detail that made the story especially painful. Ordinary customers were still playing. They bought meals, collected properties, traded duplicates, and searched for rare pieces that had already been removed from legitimate circulation. The promotion still created excitement, but for many major prizes, the fair chance customers believed they had was an illusion. If you enjoy stories about the hidden systems beneath money, chance, and power, subscribe to System Beneath. Every episode reveals the machinery operating behind an ordinary headline. The case began to break open when the FBI received information about the operation. Investigators called the inquiry Operation Final Answer, a reference to another McDonald's promotion. The challenge was not simply identifying suspicious winners. Agents needed to prove that the pieces had been stolen before reaching the public and trace the network connecting the claimants, recruiters, and Jacobson. The FBI used financial records, interviews, surveillance, and undercover work. The money created a trail. So did the relationships. A group of supposedly random winners began to look much less random when investigators mapped who knew whom, who recruited whom, and how payments moved after prizes were awarded. In August 2001, federal authorities announced the first arrests. The Justice Department accused 8 people of conspiring to commit mail fraud. The government said Jacobson had embezzled valuable game pieces and supplied them to people who arranged fraudulent claims. McDonald's cooperated with the investigation. The arrests produced a strange collision between cheerful corporate marketing and organized fraud. Television audiences had seen winners hold oversized checks. Now, investigators argued that some of those celebrations had been performances, the final public step in a private chain of theft and kickbacks. More defendants were charged as the investigation expanded. Jacobson ultimately pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit mail fraud. He received a federal prison sentence and was ordered to pay restitution. The company that managed the promotion lost its relationship with McDonald's, and the scandal transformed the way the public viewed one of America's most familiar promotional games. The remarkable part was not that someone stole a ticket. It was that one trusted position could distort an enormous national contest. Millions of customers interacted with the game at restaurants across the country. Advertising campaigns reached entire families. Yet the integrity of the most valuable prizes depended on a narrow security process and a small number of people. That is the central weakness in many systems built around trust. A process may look massive from the outside: thousands of restaurants, millions of entries, national television commercials, but still contain one critical point of control. If that point is compromised, the scale of the public system can hide the fraud instead of preventing it. The scam also exploited a powerful human bias. We expect an unlikely event to look unusual, but lottery winners and contest winners are supposed to be unusual. A person suddenly receiving $1 million does not automatically look suspicious. The event is rare by design. That makes games of chance an ideal disguise. Criminal coordination can masquerade as luck. McDonald's later ran new versions of Monopoly with revised security controls. The promotion itself survived in different forms, but the old promise could never feel quite as innocent. A piece of paper attached to a carton had once seemed to offer a random shot at a fortune. The scandal revealed that chance is only as honest as the people who guard it. For the customers who played legitimately, the loss was larger than the retail price of a meal. They were invited to believe that everyone had the same opportunity. In reality, some of the most valuable outcomes had been assigned before the public ever saw the pieces. Jerome Jacobson did not beat the odds. He stood upstream from them. And for years, while millions of people searched for the missing property, the rarest piece in the game was not hidden in a restaurant at all. It was moving through a secret network, sold as luck, protected by trust, and waiting for the FBI to connect the board.